Hey there, today we're doing a complete Dark Souls free tier list. I've always said during my streams that I really like the Souls games, and I would say that Dark Souls 3 is my favorite one, and I don't know, it felt like a fun idea. So I'm gonna go over, uh, I'm gonna make, I think I'm gonna make two sets of tier lists. The first one right now is gonna be their difficulty, and second it's gonna be like how much I like them. So let's start with difficulty, Abyss Watchers. Now the thing with Abyss Watchers is first time I fought him he was somewhere in B or C tier, but normally when I play now I feel like he's kind of on the easy end. So I would still put him in D. I put him in D tier when it comes to difficulty. If it's your first time playing the game, he's probably gonna be difficult. Otherwise, when you get used to the game, he's probably gonna be easy. Aldrich. Now, he's relatively, I would say he's on the same tier, maybe even a tiny bit easier. You just dodge his arrows and like you just brute force him with like any weapon. It's pretty easy. Ancient Wyvern, I did not like that fight. It's very disappointing, it's a gimmicky fight. Yeah, it's just not very fun to me. Let's see, Champion Grave Thunder. I actually find him somewhat difficult depending on your build, but I think he's harder than Abyss Watchers. Yeah. Champion Gundyr. I find him on the same tier as Champion Grave Tender. Like, I don't find him that difficult to beat. He's like the first one, just a little bit more aggressive. Crystal Sage. If you go to the Crystal Sage early on and it's your first time playing, I feel like with the clones that the Crystal Sage creates, it's kinda difficult, to be honest. But like if you know how the boss works, it gets kinda easy. So I'd put it on Aldrich tier. Dancer, I would say the Dancer is probably B. Actually, maybe even A. Depends on like your if you take long time killing it, if you have bad weapons, and you try to kill him early on, he's definitely A. I mean her. But otherwise, kinda B. I prefer a B. Deacons of the Deep. It's a very fun fight, but it's super easy. You just brute force them. Old Demon King. I would put him on the same tier as the Abyss Watchers, because if you fight him without good weapons, some of his abilities might be a bit annoying. But in general, he's pretty easy too. Demon Prince. Is that the double? That's the double demons. I would put it on the same tier as the Dancer. Pretty difficult, depending on your weapon as well. Because like there's no way you'll deal a lot of damage to this boss. So it's an endurance fight. Not very mechanically hard, more like tedious and annoying. Dragon Slayer. I would put the Dragon Slayer on the C tier, because if you fight him with heavy weapons, it's really easy, but if you fight him with dex weapons, it's kinda difficult. It depends. But he's on the same tier as like Champion Gundyr. That's how I feel about it. Sister Friede is an A tier for me. The thing is, you can cheese the fight pretty easily. Like you can just wait out her like some of her moves you can abuse to do backstabs and stuff, and if you just dodge everything else and wait for those, you can beat her easy. But like most people don't really do that, and if you want to go like a full fight where you try to like not drag out the fight and just beat her normally, then she's very difficult. So I put her in the A tier. Cursed Rotted Tree. I like the fight, but it's very easy to. You just destroy the balls. You punch him in the balls and he dies. What What's this? Hall fight, Spear of the Church. Oh, that's the PvP battle. Gimmicky fight. I didn't really like that one, to be honest. I just put it in scuffed. Index Gundyr, very easy, fun. It's a fun fight. It's the first boss. It's pretty good, actually. Dark Eater Medir, very difficult, hard time. Big AoE boxes. Once you learn how to fight him, it gets kind of easy. But it's hard to master. Like, you have to learn his moveset, so it's pretty difficult. Nameless King, I would... Oh, that's tough. That's tough, because... I feel like the second phase is easy, but the first phase is kind of hard with the camera. But I'll put him in the A, since I know that, like, the first time fighting this boss, everyone will die, like, a whole lot of times. Osiris, I'm putting him on the B tier. I found him kind of difficult, to be honest, in most cases. Like, when you fight him a bunch of times, you learn, like, how easy he actually is, but until then, like, he's pretty tanky, he does a lot of damage, he's fast, but he only has like 4 moves, so it's pretty easy to learn him, if we say it that way. Pointiff Sullivan, I think he's an A tier, actually. Like, if you know how to parry, if you're a veteran and you know how to parry him, then he's probably easy, like he's probably D or F. But if you fight him head on, I would put him in either A or B. I think I'm gonna put him in B, actually. Slave Knight Gale. It's a good endurance fight. The first phase is really easy in my opinion. Second phase, kinda hard. I'm gonna put him in A, because that cloak, dodging his cloak in second phase is very tough. Soul of Cinder, decently tough, depending on your build again. But I put him in B tier. It's pretty hard. Twin Princess, put him in C tier. I think the first phase is easy. Second phase can be a bit annoying. Depends on your weapons again. If you have something that does a bit of AoE, it's easy. But if you don't, you know, it's kind of hard. Ward, easiest boss in the fight in my opinion. Easiest boss in the game. Yorm is a gimmick fight. It's not really difficult at all. The thing with Yorn is I actually enjoy the fight. High Lord Volnir is kinda on the same tier as Yorm, since it's a endurance fight and you just punch his bracelets and yeah, he dies, so it's pretty easy. I think this is my difficulty rating, so I'm pretty set on how I feel about the difficulty on these bosses. This is how I feel about it. Now let's reset it and let's go with how much I like the fights and how I feel about the fights. Now, Abyss Watchers, you enter the church, there's this epic intro, music plays, the music is amazing, and like he spawns an ally and then like he absorbs all his allies and gets this boost, and it like rejuvenates him and he becomes stronger and full of fire. I put him in a solid A. I think everyone enjoys this fight. Aldridge is a very... I like the area, and I'll put it in the C tier because of the area, since you fight in the same room as you fight Orenstein and the other dude from the first game. So it's a nostalgic feeling to that boss. The boss itself is kinda lame. I like the story and all behind Aldrich, but I don't like the design that much, and I don't like the fight in general. But yeah, Ancient Wyvern still very scuffed. I know that the dragons are cool and all, but it's not scuffed. I just put it in F. I didn't find it that interesting in general, that there's the wyvern in the middle of all and you don't even really fight it. Champion Gravetender, I don't like the area, I don't like the boss design, but it's not the worst, so I put it in the D. Like, you fall down this ice, you fall down in this little ice cave, whatever. It's not a cave, it's like a little ice valley, and you have a PvP battle, and then it spawns a wolf, And the wolf is pretty fun to fight, but I don't like the PvP battle. Champion Gundyr, I like that you kind of go back in time and fight him in his prime. So I'll put him in a B tier just because it has the feeling of you're fighting him when he's like you're back in time. I like time travel stuff, you know. I enjoy the entire concept of the fight. Crystal Sage. It's kind of cool that there's like this sage in the woods and that it will clone itself and all that. The design is kind of okay as well of the boss. I'll put it in it's in the same tier as the Champion Gravetender. Dancer, A tier. Ooh, like if you don't like the NPCs and you kill them, you get these. You can fight this boss very early in the game, and it kind of shocks you. And then it's like there's only good things about this boss. The music is amazing and it fits the footsteps of the boss. Like the boss is spooky and cool at the same time, and it moves in this creepy, elegant way. Everything's on fire. You know, it's the guardian of the house or whatever it was. I really like the Dancer. It's one of my favorite bosses. Deacons of the Deeps. I don't really like priests in general. I don't like the entire priest fight. I put it on the F tier. Like you're just in the cathedral and you fight the priests until the head one comes out. Like there's a main priest that spawns. It's not really my thing. Old Demon King. I kinda like the Demon King. You fight him underneath the graveyard. Like under everything amongst the skeletons, and then you fall down the cave. And then there he is, the last Old Demon King. I kinda like that. Now when I say it out loud, I kinda like it. I like it more than Aldrich. I would say I put him in B. For the title and like the area and like the whole idea that he's like this king locked away. Demon Prince. It's the same. It's literally the same. You travel to the end of the world and you fall down this huge pit. And it's the Firelink Shrine from the first game. And there's this demon prince that has been in a slumber and then he awakens. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool concept. I like the concept. Dragon Slayer. I like when you enter the arena and the sun. It's the same. It's the literal same. You like when you unlock the castle and you walk up to like when you're up on the higher levels of the castle and you walk in and then you pass that fog and then you see the sun is like having the eclipse and then he rises up and he's like this dragon slayer. It's pretty badass. Sister Frida is A tier. It's a tough fight, but it's also a fun fight, and like the entire concept of the fight. And when you kill her the first time, like we first enter it and she's like trying to keep her destroyed world alive, and she's trying to protect it even though it's gone to shit. And she's like trying to stop you, and then you kill her, and then her father flips out and revives her, and then they fight you together. And if you kill them, then she kind of fuses with you, like something with your embers. She fuses and she rises up a third time. I don't know, I really like this fight. Like the cutscene, everything about this fight is amazing. Ooh, the Curse Rotted Greatwood. It's a cool looking boss. I like the area, but the fight and everything is kind of like, there's no real lore behind it. I'll put it in the F actually. It's on the same tier as the Deacon and the Wyvern. I didn't really like it. I kind of think that the concept of the PvP concept battle is on the same tier as Aldrich. I like the Judicator. That there's like this judge in the church before they let you in to the princess. And they're like guarding you and they summon these warriors to fight you. It's a cool concept. I like it. Index Gundyr, as much as I like that you fight him in the prime, the real fight itself, I mean, it's not that bad. He finally lost. He succumbed to, like, he was this champion and then he eventually died and succumbed to this darkness worm thingy. It's a pretty cool concept. I like it. Dark Eater Midair. I really like Dark Midair. He's sleeping underneath the... Where is he sleeping again? Before the church. Before the Church of the Spears. This church. There's like an elevator. You fall down the elevator and there's the hole leading down to a tunnel. And then there's a massive cave and there he's sleeping. And he's like this medieval immortal being. I don't know, I really like him. Nameless King, amazing Dragon Ball fight. You enter him, he's like a Dragon Ball character combined with Zeus. You fight him up in the sky amongst the clouds. Like the entire and the bells and everything ringing around you. It's a solid A tier perfect fight. It's like 10 out of 10. There's nothing bad about it. Like the lore and everything is like the Nameless King. It was the king there. What was it now again? It was like Gwyn. He's like Gwyn's son or something like that. And he's like the banished Nameless King. I really like that. Let's see. Osiris, the Consumed King. I liked the original story behind him, where he was actually gonna have the child, but then they thought that him having a child and killing the child was a bit... they would have had to change their rating from 16 to 18, I think, or something like that. And they couldn't have like a character killing babies, because it's basically he was supposed to kill his baby in the second phase, and they couldn't have that, so they changed it to him just being insane, which I still like. I really like Osiris. He's a very good fight. I'll put him in the C tier though. He's not as good as most of the others. Pointiff. I didn't really like Pointiff as a boss. I don't think he's pretty cool. He's cool the first time you walk into the chapel, but I don't know. I'll put him in the C tier. I mean, it's almost that I want to put him in D, because I don't really like him as... I don't like his design. I don't think the area you fight him in a chapel, but you fight the deacons in a chapel, you fight these guys in a chapel. It's always chapels, and this one is like the least appealing one. But I do like the way when you enter it and you walk up to him, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Slave Guile, best fight in the game. Now, let me set the stage here. You've basically beaten the game, and like at the end of the world, this is like in the future where everything is gone and there's like next to nothing left alive. He's the only one alive. And you fight him in the desert and there's nothing there. And it's this epic heroic fight. It's like the last fight in the Soul series. And like there's no stake, there's nothing to gain or lose. The world's already ended basically. And yeah, his lore is amazing. The fight is amazing. His design is amazing. And in the second phase, it turns into this Dragon Ball battle, like the Nameless King, where like he like jumps up in the sky. The sky turns cloudy. It starts to thunder. The thunder comes down around him, and it can hurt both you and him. And it's such a cool, legendary fight. Soul of Cinder, also A tier, amazing battle, and he's like the combined, everyone who beat the first game, he's like a combination of all the players in the world that beat the first game. He takes on the form of a player, and he uses like weapons and spells and stuff that the players can use. And then in the second phase, he like summons old Gwyn himself. Like he's a reincarnation of everything of everything that happened in the past. He's like the reincarnation of it, and he summons Gwyn as the last one, and then Gwyn's theme starts playing, and ooh, those feels absolutely amazing. Twin Princess, I kind of feel like that was a very disappointing fight. Like Prince Lothric is such a cool name, and you think of a prince and like fighting him in the kingdom, in the king's throne room, and then he's just this cripple, and then the prince himself is actually like this. I didn't even know it was a dude to begin with. I thought it was like an old grandma, and like I didn't like that fight. Vord, it's a pretty cool fight, but the area's kind of meh. Ice Boss, he's like the guardian of the lower part of the castle. I'll put him in the F tier. I didn't really find that pretty cool or special or anything. High Lord Volnir. Now here we go. I really like the High Lord Volnir battle. It's probably in B tier. You touch the mug and it takes you into the realm of darkness. And then when you walk up and you discover some remaining pyromancy tomes, he arises from the dark and he has this cool sword and he's like this king. I don't know, I like the fight. It's a very cool fight in a cool area and the concept is very cool. Jorm the Giant. I don't really know. I liked him in the trailer, and he's cool in like the cinematic you can unlock with Siegmeyer. He's pretty cool. But him being like this coward, and he's supposedly this coward who's just like covered away and given up, and it's a gimmicky fight, and I don't really like him. Nah. I put him in D. Okay, I'm gonna sort them out now. Slave Knight Gale is the best one. Soul of Cinder is probably second. Nameless King. Dancer. This is the A tier list. This is how I feel about it. Best fight, worst fight in the A tier. Let's see here. I feel like Demon Prince goes a little bit before Old Demon King. Dark Eater Madeira actually takes the cake. There. I think this is how I'll put the B tier. Dark Eater Madeira was the best one. Old Demon King the worst one, but they're still very cool areas. C tier. Osiris. Clearly Osiris. I really like Osiris in like his design is cool and the room is cool and like him being insane. I like the entire, he's a bit crazy dude. Index, probably a bit better than Aldrich. Spear, yeah, Osiris the best, Pontiff's the worst. In the C tier. D tier, I think I liked Champion Gravetender. No wait, the Twin Princess is a bit better with the story and everything, even though I don't really like it. And then Crystal Sage. And then, yeah, like this. Twin Princess, the story with the throne room and all that, with him being a coward, with the cripple, was the best in the D tier. Worst was Jorm the Coward, with the gimmicky fight. F tier with the worst ones. I guess I like the Wyvern more than I do the... No wait, the Cursed Rotted Tree actually, because it's like... It's kind of spooky in a way. Like a rotting tree is kind of uncomfortable. It just comes to life like that and starts fighting you. And the worst one is Wyvern actually. There. This is my full tier list on Dark Souls 3. Like I said, I've played this game many times. Huge fan. I really like the boss designs and everything. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment what you think about it, and if people like this I might make more tier lists. So see you all next time. Bye.